Fabulous stuff, Arab Strap live in session and Social Meter Blues. And before we get into a conversation about the music, which obviously everybody wants to hear, Malcolm, have you got a nickname by any chance?
I don't know. Tap breaker, maybe?
Heartbreaker. Really?
Heartbreaker.
Well,
is that we're going?
Tap breaker, yeah.
Tap breaker.
Well, this is it, you see, because we let bands loose in the studios, and if you get Guns N' Roses in, you're going to expect some collateral damage, aren't you? But when you get Arab Strap in, and the first thing you do make is you break the tap, which is not just any old tap; it's a hot water tap, a boiling water tap. Now,
it's known as a brand name. It's like a Hoover, but it's not a Hoover, obviously, because that wouldn't work.
Yeah,
that wouldn't work.
Just give me a kettle next time.
I'm with you there, mate. Absolutely. But we've worked out that obviously you pay the license fee, and so you own the tap anyway. So it's fine.
That's perfectly fine.
I don't think Guns N' Roses would be any trouble these days, to be honest.
Do you know?
Well, I think it'd be fine.
Right, okay, let's book 'em, Dano. Right, okay, so Arab Strap live in session. So we've got the title of the LP. I'm totally fine with it. Don't give a flip.
Flip. Yes.
Anymore. So what is it?
Various things. The title came from a message that Jeansy, our drummer, sent us one day, and we were going on tour, and I was asking some questions, and that was his response to one of the questions. And I took a screenshot and suggested it as the album title, and it stuck.
I can imagine why it stuck. I mean, and we don't want to go into the whys and wherefores of what you were exactly talking about there, mate.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. But it must be great to get, be G'd up by your fellow bandmates just before a tour in such a way.
Oh, well, Jeans is a constant source of entertainment, yes, yeah.
Is that why he's behind 3 partitions there?
Yeah. You need to keep him caged, yeah.
Absolutely. And so, and I know Gid wants to discuss this as well, and I'm sure you'll have to do on many occasions.
I'm not making any demands, yeah.
No. But there's a lot of social media content within the album itself. And I follow you on Twitter, and so can you tell me what kind of triggered that off? Is that your aspect of it rather than Malcolm's?
Yeah. I mean, the song we just played, for instance, is about my old addiction to fighting with strangers online, which is a strange way to behave, but I was wrapped up in it, and these things are designed to pit people at each other, and it's very easy to get caught up in that. So I think I've just been sort of trying to readdress that sort of thing and engage more with the physical world, and I'm still on it and I still enjoy it. We released the album on Friday and it was great. People were getting in touch and talking about it. So, it's still there's a very positive aspect to it, but I was kind of mired in the darkness of it for a while.
It's like any tool, though, isn't it? It depends how you use it. And, of course, in that situation, also, who you're following. I remember when I got on Twitter back in the dark ages, and I'd had a few. Immediately, there's a problem there, isn't there? But it was the opening of the London Olympics that night. Right. And I'd had a few. And I was just tweeting. And the list, the followers was just going, bring, bring, bring. I thought, this is great, this.
The numbers as just described. Beguiling, drawing you in.
10,000 followers in the course of a night, but I was being pretty disparaging about everything that was going on.
Well, that's the thing. That's what happened when I started too. Like, there was a time I would stay up. This was like before even YouTube was a thing, and I was watching MTV an awful lot, and I was saying quite rude things about some of the things on MTV, and that gave me a lot of followers. It's like, people just seem to want negativity.
Well, humour. I'm sure what you were saying was funny.
Well, possibly, yes, but no, I've looked back and I think maybe it was a bit cruel to some pop stars,
Yes, so long as you didn't do to anything that I was on, I don't mind. But I'm being self-obsessed, and finally I will land over to Gid in a moment. So again, you've mentioned it there. You've got Gary Lineker, who might be having some argy-bargy with somebody. He's got like millions and millions of followers. He might be having a Barney with somebody who's got 12 followers. And you think, really, what is the point? I know it sounds a bit shallow, that, but, it's not a public forum, really. He's arguing with one bloke who hasn't got many mates.
Well, I mean, that's it. You need to, you wouldn't waste your time with people like that in the pub, so why do it online,
Absolutely. Okay, Gid?
Yeah, and speaking of the pub, I mean, there is the message, if it seems to be, because it does it's a malevolent force, basically, social media, which crops up quite a lot during the record. But the solution you seem to be offering is switch it off and get out more, which is good, especially post lockdown as well, because that's something of a theme running through the record as well, isn't it?
I think, I got especially, like everyone was online for so long during that time, and I got used to it, and I think we're all still hungover for that period as well. You know, there's little habits in my behaviour, like, you know, I still have a wee drink at night when I'm watching YouTube, and I'll be on social media. I'm like, I just got this. It sort of altered my behaviour, and like most people, I think, you know.
Yeah, well, that's why sort of Drag Queen is such an uplifting part of this record as well, because it's almost like it's not quite a first big weekend, but it's like the latest, the 2024 big night out that you seem to go on.
That was about again reconnecting with, you know, meeting an old friend and doing something spectacular for an evening that you haven't done in a long time. Yeah.
The whole record, once again, is I think a triumph. It's a great record,
Thank you.
As a follow up to the previous record as well. It's sort of like the rebirth, return of Arab Strap. How do you both feel about how it's gone and how energised you are by it?
We're quite excited by it, but just listening to you guys talk there, I think we've basically soundtracked Why Don't You? Remember the programme?
I don't.
Instead of turning off your telly, you've got to turn off your phone.
A reference for the kids there.
He was on it.
I was in the Bristol gang of 1979. Mal.
way.
I was. Yeah.
Yes, the message
precocious
album
at
is
the
turn
time.
off your...
I did my
digital
best
stuff and
work
go outside.
really on that particular programme. Word
loved it.
perfect, yeah.
Oh,
It's all right,
nice.
yeah. So some people argue that you couldn't watch it because you had to switch off your television, but that wasn't the point.
That was the...
That
Yeah.
wasn't the point.
There was a bit of a problem at its root, I always felt with.
I think
That's why I went.
when we started this programme, Gid did suggest we call it "Why Don't You Turn Your Radio Off and Go and Do
for
Something."
at least 2 hours. And similarly, this record is educational because of moles. And there's a tune, Molehills, which I played last night, and it had me typing the following: "Do moles have venom?"
Yeah.
And they do. This is a revelation. I mean, revelation.
They are nasty little things. Yes.
Come on, they're wind in the willows, hang spring cleaning. But no, they, as I understand it, they attack multiple worms and kill them with venom, and then hang them in a mole larder.
Yes, they do, and then eat them alive after a few
Yeah,
days.
they're not
or
even
so.
dead, are they? They paralyse them.
Yeah, paralyse them. They don't even. Yeah, they're awful.
I'm going to mention Hammer horror films, right? And that somebody missed a trick there. They could have done a mole horror film, but maybe somebody has somewhere along the line.
That's right. The night of the mole. Yes.
That'll be the next thing we type in: mole horror.
Big style. But I've seen the video. I watched the video for Strawberry Moon.
Aye.
And you would have made a really, Aidan, really great priest in a Hammer horror film.
Oh, maybe I shall one day. You know?
That's me putting it out there, really. I think that there's an opportunity missed. Do you believe in ghosts, either of you?
No, I believe that people see them, but I don't think they're there. I think there's. I've been listening to that Uncanny podcast quite a lot recently, and I love the stories about it. But no, I don't believe in the supernatural, as it were. But there's a lot going on in our heads.
I think if I see one, I'll believe in one, but I haven't yet. So
Yeah.
You've got an open mind.
I read It Happened to Me in 14 Times. There's a lot of good stories in there, but I'm not sure they prove anything.
I recently had a subscription to 14 Times.
Have you read that? It Happened to Me bit? It's brilliant. There's a great story in the latest one about a pint of beer on a table, unoccupied, which just upended itself.
and
Really?
It's very spooky.
No,
This
but nobody
sounds
was at
like
the
someone
table.
spilled someone's pint and went, "Sorry, mate, no, it must have been the ghost pal."
Was it one about a hot water tap breaking?
Whatever conclusions you want to draw.
The thought of an unloved pint on its own is freaking me out anyway,
well,
to be honest.
exactly.
And there was a mole seen running away. Are you ready to play 2 more tunes for us, please?
Yes, certainly. Yes.
Okay.
This next one is called "Haven't You Heard?"